Hey babes, it's your girl Bree, spelled like the cheese, aka your cosmic bestie. And I know it's been a little bit. 2 weeks have gone by, so obviously today is like a recap. I got a little bit of tarot with us as well for like a message, but I feel like it's necessary for me to just share the part of the journey that I'm on. Um, if you've been here for a while, like I've been through a lot of stuff over the last year and a half. I lost my house, I lost my car, I lost my aunt, I lost my dog, I lost a best friend. Like I had a lot of loss that I've been working through. And then I also gave birth to my daughter in that process. And I moved back in at home with my parents. And me and my parents have a very complicated relationship, and it's starting to peak. It's starting to really like hit me at a different aspect, at like a different level now. Because I'm starting to just like see real patterns and really feeling the emotions that I've always pushed down. Um, I deal with a lot of narcissistic behavior, and it's getting to the point to where there's like a lot of family drama, but the drama, I am the cause, I am the solution is like what is being presented to me. And a big part of the conversation that kept coming up with my parents was my loyalty. Where does my loyalty sit with them? Like, how could I be around people that don't want to interact with them? But mind you, like, this is my other family. Like, this is my grandma, my aunt. Like, these are people that I've spent my life with already. So it's just like putting me in such a weird headspace and a weird position to being like, the younger me would have stopped talking to them or exited myself out because I didn't want to disappoint my parents. But I'm an adult. I am 31. I am grown, and the relationships that I have with people are nobody else's concerns or issues. Like, I cannot let somebody else dictate how my relationship with somebody else is. And that's just one of the many reasons why these last few weeks I haven't been posting, because I've just been so internally like dealing with so much. Anybody that has ever dealt with a narcissist in any capacity, whether if it was family, friends, relationship, right, significant other, whatever, like it is draining. It is absolutely exhausting. And I have a 1.5 year old who is growing her molars and growth spurts, and um, just like having, so many new things that are happening for her. It's just like turning into so much, right? I'm a stay at home mom. I live at home with them. Like it's constantly in my face. It's constantly something that's going on. Confirmation burp. It has been a lot for me, and it's been really hard. And I'm the kind of person, especially with like within the spiritual space, I'm the kind of person that is very much like, I'm real. What you see is what you get. I'm not trying to put on a front. I'm not trying to say that I'm only love and light, because that's not real for me. That's my opinion. Like I can't always be on, if you will. I can't always have such a great mindset. And it's not that life never will re-trigger you because you've healed. I don't believe that you're fully healed. I believe that you're always healing, because there's always something new, right? You're still living life. It's not just your past traumas from when you were a child or in your 20s or 30s, or however old you are, right? It's like there's constant, there's always change, there's always new developments and things like that. And I'm just at this point of like, I can't. I cannot keep going down the same path of letting other people dictate my life, being this people pleaser, letting the guilt trips guilt me, letting the pain and the grief just sit there instead of feeling it. And I've been feeling it. That 10, 12-year-old, 14-year-old version of Brie, all of them are honestly grieving the relationship, because I've always thought, like, in me, there's always been like a sliver of me that's always been like, well, if I just changed one of these things, if I would just do something different or say something different, or if they could see me in a different light, they would have that empathy, they would have that mutual respect, they would have that unconditional love. And it has just been proven time and time and time again for the last year and a half that I've lived there. It is not getting better, it's getting worse. And this is like this reality checkpoint for me, like from spirit, of spirit being like, what are you gonna do, babe? Because you keep saying, like, what if with you, and every time that you change or maneuver, you're letting go another part of yourself. You're doing for others instead of doing for yourself. And truthfully, I enjoy the time that I spend with my grandma, and I love that my daughter gets to have a great grandma. My great grandma was in my life for 16 years. A lot of people cannot say that. So grandparents are very important to me. And it just sucks that it's getting to this point to where I have to like choose between my parents or my grandma. My grandma has dementia, and I'm not trying to really take her out of her environment, because she has some good days and she has bad days. Like anybody that has ever dealt with that, like, you know what it is. But routine is very important for them. But she has really good days when she's with my daughter. And if I can just take her over there twice a week, maybe more, for her to see her, I'm going to do it. I'm not going to feel bad about it, because that's something I've been battling a lot, is like, am I actually going to feel bad about this? I don't feel bad about spending time with my grandma. I don't. And I think it's a really crappy position that I've been put in, to like feel like I have to. And like I said before, that old version of me probably would have, but I'm not doing that anymore. I can't. I won't. It's just impossible for me to keep going down that track and that journey, because that's when the real depression sits in. That's when the real grief hits. And I've been letting go of a lot of stuff. This whole year, specifically 2025, a lot of stuff has been coming up for me. I was SA'd when I was 14. And I broke up with my long-term boyfriend when I was a senior, or my senior summer going into freshman year of college. And like a lot of these things I just never dealt with, right? I just never really healed from it. I never really felt the feelings. I just put my head down and went hard and work. That was like my outlet. If I have 3-4 jobs, that's fine. That's fine. Like if I work hard enough, I don't actually have to feel. If I just do all of these other things all of the time, then I don't actually have to sit here and feel it. And truthfully, these last 2 weeks, I've been feeling it. That's why you haven't gotten a video. That's why I wasn't really posting. And if you follow me on TikTok, you probably saw my like video about me expressing like how I've been feeling about this narcissism that I've been dealing with. It's so draining. It is so draining. And I know for myself of where I'm at right now, I needed this time to like figure some shit out. And even this week, I'm still figuring some stuff out, because I'm at this precipice of like, okay, I know I need to get out, and money is a problem. And yes, I am a stay-at-home mom. And yes, I do run my business, but it's not bringing in the kind of money that I need to be able to get out. So what can I do to supplement that income right now so that I can get out, and then I can focus deeper into the business later, right? That is like my main driver. But then there's this other part of me that's like, why don't you put it all in now? Switch up your marketing, get stronger on your branding, actually promo, actually put your stuff out there, actually share, like go harder on the business. And it's hard, right? When your head and your heart and your root chakra or your sacral chakra or whatever, right, they're not aligned. It's hard for you to make a choice. It's hard for you to make a decision. It's hard to like take the step forward because you're worried about the choice, right? If I make this one choice, what if this? What if that? What if it doesn't work out? Or vice versa. Okay, if I go down here, what if this? What if that? What if it doesn't work out? And I've been talking a lot about choices versus decisions. A choice is like a quiz, right? It's just to test your knowledge. It's just to see what's going on. How much do you know? What can you work on from here? So either path that I take, it's a choice, right? I just have to make a choice. Now, let's say it all works out. Great. Now it's easier to make that decision. Or vice versa. It doesn't work. Now I need to make a decision moving forward. Okay, I know that this is not working. That style, this job, this whatever, that didn't work for me. So now I'm going to go all in on Stella Nova, right? That's where I'm at. And I'm a firm believer that you should go with your gut. But I'm also a very firm believer that you do have to be smart about things. It's not that you can't or shouldn't trust your intuition. But that piece of knowing everything that's going to come up, that control, that's what throws us off, right? That's what makes us feel differently about the choices that we make. Because now you're like, okay, but I don't have the time or capacity to let it fail. So I have to make the right choice right here, right now. But then you're at a stalemate. You're locked in. You're right at the dead center of not making a move. And that's not helpful either, right? You can't just stand there and hope for the best to just hit you like a Mack truck. That's just not how life works. You do have to make a choice. And you are the one that has the power of your own life. I know the world, society, family, friends, whoever has told you otherwise, but that is not true. Confirmation to everything I just said there. But seriously, like, you hold that power and you have to ignite that flame from within so that you can take that flame, put it on your torch, and take whatever new path and journey that it is. No, you won't be able to see totally the full path, but at least you can see somewhat ahead of you so that you can just keep moving and just keep moving forward, even if it's not the right direction. Just because you took the wrong path on the map doesn't mean that you can't backtrack and circle the other way. But I know what that feeling is like you don't want to have to backtrack, right? You've already done that, or like you don't want to do that. Maybe you're a little bit too prideful, ego, whatever. And like, as somebody who went through a major ego death and got everything material like ripped out from underneath them, I get it. I do. But this is the intersection that we have to start getting really real with ourselves. Like I said, I'm 31. I have a daughter. I have a husband. I cannot keep playing around with my life and letting other people run this shit. I got to take a hold of the reins and move forward. But I'm scared shitless because I don't want to fuck it up. I'm already at the bottom, right? I'm back at home. I lost everything, car, house, whatever. And yes, I am building back. I do have another car. I do have other things going on. But now my daughter's at play. It's one thing if I screw up my own life, right? But I don't want to screw up hers. And that's really why I've been super hesitant. You know, I'm a stay-at-home mom. Like, yes, there are some people in my life that could watch her, but not like daily for me to like get like a part-time job or whatever. And daycare, if you know, you know, I'm sorry, but I would literally be working to pay for her to be in daycare. And that just seems kind of stupid to me. Like, if I'm only actually bringing home like $200, I could freelance and figure out something. I could sell $200 worth of readings or memberships or whatever. Like, I could make that work. But if that's all that I'm getting, it doesn't really feel worth it to me. You know what I mean? I don't know. I just got a lot going on up here, but I wanted to pull for us today. And, you know, when I do collective readings, it's not just for you, it's for me too. So I'm hoping that, you know, we all get answers here on what Spirit is trying to guide us with right now. Because if you're anything like me, it might not be the exact same situation, but if you feel like this, if this is registering to you, if this is really resonating with you, then stay tuned. Let's see what Spirit has in store for us. What does the collective need to know today, Spirit? Queen of Wands, confidence, passionate, determined, charismatic, optimistic, self-assured. This is Queen of Wands. Now you see how she's sitting there looking forward. She has the staff, she has the flower. Stuff is ready to come into bloom, right? Oops, sorry. Oh, there we go. Stuff is ready to come into bloom here, but she has this panther at her feet, which is like, that's that inner strength that you have, that perseverance, the inner beast, if you will. Okay. That inner beast of you, it's not a bad thing, it's a good thing. It's sitting at your feet for a reason, because it's there and ready to go whenever you are ready to go. But you also have Three of Pentacles in reverse. So this is lack of cohesion, lack of teamwork, poor motivation, conflict, ego. What did I say about ego? Right? The ego is clouding your judgment. And the teamwork. Okay, there are people in your life that are meant to help you, but you do have to ask. And I get it. I get it. I hate asking for help. But at the position that I am now in my life, I realize that if I don't ask for help, I am hindering myself and the people around me. And I just refuse to do that. So I think that that is something that we need to hone in too, because this energy is where they want you to be, right? This is where you want to be. You want to be confident. You want to be self-assured. You want to be passionate and determined and social and just being that bitch, right? That's what you want. But then you also had Four of Wands in reverse. Lack of support, instability, feeling unwelcome, lack of roots, home conflict. That's very much representing me, right? I know I have a lot of home conflict. It's not that I have a lack of support. I think some of you guys do have lack of support. So like the Three of Pentacles, you're like, okay, well, how am I supposed to have teamwork if like I don't have the support? I hear you. But the ego is really throwing you off on that, because you don't need the support from friends and family that are around you. There is plenty of communities online of people, places, and spaces that people would actually support you and actually help you, see you, and hear you. But you have to make the effort to go out and find that. And that Four of Wands energy, the feeling unwelcome and instability, it feels like it's the instability. Like you are just so unstable, right? This moment, you're just feeling really rocky. Then we also have Knight of Cups. This is, charming and graceful, and you see how she's heading forward. She's determined. She has the cup in her hand, the horse, the reins. Like this is her taking charge. That's you taking charge of your life, really grabbing the reins and moving forward. But you can't do that because you're right here, the moon reverse. You're in this process, I should say. You're releasing the fear. You're letting the anxiety go. You're regaining composure. But your intuition is blocked. Because it's still all circling up in here. It's still this tornado of emotions and bullshit, right? You're at this point of like, okay, like I said before, right? I could do this or I could do that. But who's going to take care of my daughter, and when am I going to have the time, and how am I going to make it work? Oh, and then vice versa. There's a lot of pressure I'd be putting on myself just running the business when I know I need to get out. So like what's at war, right? It's your intuition, it's yourself, because this isn't making sense to this and this isn't making sense to this. So all of it's out of alignment, and that's why you're having a hard time moving forward. That's why it's hard for you to grab the reins and move forward. But you can. This came out in the upright for a reason, because you can do this. You're on your way to doing that, but you have to make a choice. Because once you make one of those choices, then you will have direction, you will have a path, you will have a purpose, if you will, to get to where you need to go. Two of Wands. This is planning, first steps, right? Taking action, leaving comfort, taking risk. It's a risk. Either choice is a risk, right? No matter where you go, it's a risk, but you got to pick one. You got to do something. And it's not like, oh, you have to do something and it has to be right. It's okay if it's not right. My daughter has this thing where it's like a sorter, right? Where it's like squares, triangles, whatever. And I'm teaching her, like the square goes in the square, the circle goes in the circle. You're the baby in the situation here, okay? It's okay if you try to put the square into the circle and it doesn't work and it doesn't fit. Now you can try again and figure it out. It's okay. It doesn't have to look perfect. And who knows? Maybe it actually fucking works out. Whatever choice that you actually do actually gets you in a better spot, in a better place. Great. Love that. Need that. Want that. It's funny. I keep seeing, like, for me, applying to apartments, like applications, like putting in applications, because the debt to income ratio between me and my husband, like, because I'm not making a substantial amount of money, like our debt to income isn't looking great. So if I started bringing in more income, like it would be easier for us to get approved. But there's a lot of pressure that comes with that, right? Of like, okay, well, my business, I want to be successful, but I'm just not there yet. Two of Cups. Okay, this is unity, partnership. Honestly, this just feels like joining forces more than anything. But it's not with like somebody else. It's like the old version of you and the new version of you. That old version of you is like, all right, I trust you. Like, I know I've brought us this far, but like I can't keep going because I don't know. Like, I'm so tired, I'm so burnt out. I need to take my own time. And the new version of you is like, it's all right, babe, I got us. Like, let's move forward. Let's do this. It's really joining those forces of like, we don't have to stay in our old patterns, but we can become something new. Confirmation. And that's good, right? That is progress. That is you. This is a reminder to you that even though you're not seeing like huge growth in the sense of like your physical body or whatever, your mental is so much better than what it was. Okay? Like, seriously. Two of Swords. Stalemate, right? Being stuck. We're still stuck. But you see how the blindfold is just a sleep mask? You could easily take it off. You could. You can take off the mask. You can tell yourself. You can finally tell yourself, like, yeah, no, I do know what I'm doing. I will figure it out. Page of Pentacles, ambitious, goal-oriented, consistent, star student. Whatever path that you choose, I want you to know that this is the energy that you're going to bring to the table. Because whatever path that it is, you know that it's necessary for this next phase and this next chapter of your life. You're worried about the whole plot of the book when you just need to worry about this chapter. The plot will come together, right? Like, it'll all come together. But you got to do it for the plot first. You got to make a choice. You can't just let the chapter sit there, right? You gotta make some moves. And you are going to be so much better once you make that choice, right? You will be consistent. You will be grounded. You will be goal-oriented and diligent and ambitious. And you're just going to take all of it, all of that energy within yourself, the pain, the hurt, the guilt, the good, right? The good, the bad, the ugly. You're going to use all of that to propel you forward. Because whatever choice that you make, you really are going to have such a huge upheaval. Like, I can feel this. Like, it feels like this upheaval that's coming through you. This is the precipice. This is the cliff. This is the moment to jump and trust. Whether if you got a parachute or not, babe, you got to jump. You got to go. Knight of Swords. Assertive, direct, focused, ambitious. See how he's charging ahead up the mountain with the sword in hand. We're going hard. We're going places that we've never gone before, but in a good way. But you do need to be more direct, and you got to stop being impatient. I know for me, like, I've been doing Stella Nova since the middle of January, and it's now November. So yes, like, I have had readings and I've had sales and I have members in my group, but I'm doing this, like, the slow, like up the hill when you first get on a roller coaster, and I've been like a quarter of the way to like get to the hill, right? Like, I'm like, okay, like, I just need a video to go viral, or I just need like 10 more members or 15 more readings a month or whatever, right? Where I'm like, yeah, and then I can be over that hill and I can make that money and I can do what I need to do. But I'm getting impatient. I'm like, okay, but I've been doing this for X amount of months. Like, this should be happening. But in reality, like, it took over 15 years for me to go through all of this pain, drama, and hurt. And I'm still dealing with that last little bit with like my parents, you know? And that was 15 years of drama and pain and sorrow. How could I think that this could just change overnight, like change within a week? I am being impatient, and maybe you are too. Maybe you're like, okay, but I have been doing the work. I've been doing this. I've been doing this since 2021, baby. May of 2021 was the first time that I decided that I am actually going to change my life and actually stick to what I fucking said I would do. And yes, I've had lulls, I've had ups and downs and anything in between. Tower moments and rebirths, but it feels differently this time because I'm more aware. I'm actually learning the lessons because I'm feeling the feelings and letting it sit. And those are what help me make these new decisions, right? Like, I know that I am making the conscious decision to keep my relationship with my parents at a surface level because that's what I need to do. I know that every time that I've gone deeper or whatever, we go through the same cycle where I'm the horrible daughter, I'm the one to blame, I could change it all if I would just change who I am. And I don't win on the other end of that. I've seen it. I've been doing it for the last 15 years of my life. But now I'm like, okay, this is my new decision. Like I can keep it surface level. They can be a part of my life at arm's length, but that's it. I'm not trying to do more than that. That's just not where I'm at anymore. Death card. Transformation, endings, transition, letting go, release. See how it's all of the phases of this woman, right? The child, the young adult, the one that's gone, and the older version. That's the one promise all of us have in this life is true transition into death. That's the one thing everyone is promised. Everyone will die here. But dying is not a bad thing. It's an ending to start something new. You have to end things to start something new. Just like a book. I mean, you can't just stop the middle of the book and then start a new one in the series. You're going to have no idea what the hell is going on. You have to finish. You have to get there. No matter what those chapters hold, you have to get there so that you can move on to the next point. Because you also got the King of Swords here, right? Reason, authority, discipline, seriousness, high standards. This has to be you. This has to be you moving forward, right? Because for you to be this student, for you to charge ahead, you have to be assertive. You have to be real. You have to take charge, but also sit in your power. This is you holding your power. This is your power. And this is your extra strength by your side. That's what you need. You need that. You need to really hone in back into yourself. That's why taking care of ourselves and filling up our cup and really going in those depths is what takes us to the next level. Spirituality and healing is not all love and light and cute. You have to blend in with that shadow. You have to accept that shadow self. And that's the hardest part. One of the hardest parts is finally accepting that shadow version of yourself. That version that you're ashamed of, that version that you have guilt with, that version of you that didn't do shit that you don't really like anymore, right? You have to come to terms with that. You cannot change the past, but you can change your future by making decisions that are best for you, even if those decisions don't make sense for other people. And that's why, like, the balance in my head is very much like, oh, but what about this? What about that? But the more that I'm reading this, the more that I'm coming more to terms for myself is like, this chapter can just be that chapter. I could do something. I could figure out who can watch my daughter and what that's going to look like. And yeah, I probably will be physically and mentally exhausted, but maybe not. Maybe this opens up a new door for me to open up something else, to build something even bigger and better with Stella Nova. I'm delusional enough to think that anything can happen because I've seen it happen. Ten of Cups reverse. Unhappy home. Conflict, disharmony, isolation. It's throwing you off, right? This is my home, right? Me sharing and being online. And what you see here is very much of what is in the Stella Nova membership. So that feels like home for me as well. And I love my Nova babes in there. Like, we really all truly support and see and hear one another. And I just love that I created a space like that, not just for other people, but for myself as well. And I've been sitting in that unhappy home, like physically, like with my parents, like sitting in the basement and letting it get to me. And maybe you're not in your parents' basement, or maybe you are, but you don't have to sit there anymore. Okay? You don't have to feel like you're just stuck there. You're not stuck because of other people. You're stuck because of yourself. Two of Pentacles in reverse. Imbalanced, overwhelmed. You're overwhelmed. You're feeling chaotic. But we have momentum. We do have confidence. We do have growth. And we are going to look ahead. See how she's looking ahead? This is your past. This is your trauma. You take this and move forward, you can leave those here. But also notice the flowers blooming on here, okay? You are blooming. You are blossoming. You are becoming this new version of yourself. This is not an overnight thing. I was talking about this in the membership. Like, you don't just become your higher self overnight. This isn't just the one, oh, I did this one thing and now I've completely transformed, right? This is not a Disney movie. Sorry. This is reality. And the reality is, it is constant action and change that builds you and form you into that higher version of yourself. But mind you, it's still you, babe. This higher version of you is not some random enigma that doesn't exist until you pop it into reality. The things that you desire you because there is a version of you that already has it. But you have to become that version of you that can actually hold it. Because a lot of us want something that happens overnight, but a lot of us do not have the kind of capacity or foundation to actually hold something that big, right? If you truly want to change your life, if you want to be this different person, are you strong enough to hold it? Because I don't know about you, but, and I don't even like work out like that, but I would not go into a gym today and put 200 pounds on a push-up bar. If anything, I'm probably just working with the bar and I work my way up to that additional weight. But then my body builds the muscles to be able to hold that and work through that. That's exactly where you're at right now. And yeah, any of my gym baddies that are watching this, I'm sure you can attest. You go through hell, right? When you're in that transition phase, you are going through hell. Your body is sore, it's depleted, it hurts, but you know that you have to keep putting in that work so that your body can build to that to be able to expand, to change the definition, change the weight, change all of it. You also have Devil in reverse, and this is you releasing and reclaiming your power. Whatever choice that you make, that's you freeing yourself from these chains, okay? And I want you to know, whatever path that you choose will free yourself, because it either will free you now or it'll free you later. And you're really hung up on if it's going to change you now. It doesn't have to change you now. It can change later, right? This is the buildup. This is the incline. This is a part of life. Because you're still going to keep living life. You're still going to get triggered. You're still going to have conflict. You're still going to have problems. But it won't affect you the way that it used to, right? You build up different strength and capacity to deal with different things that when something re-triggers you or you get into a fight or whatever, it doesn't knock you out on your ass for 6 months with like a deep depression, right? Like, it's something that you deal with for like a week, maybe 2, maybe a month. And you're like, actually, I'm good. I don't care. I'm good. All right. Let me see if there's anything else here. Because I feel like we're circling the same message here over and over again. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm definitely feeling way more confident about the next chapter. Yeah. 8 of Swords, reverse, freedom, release, taking control, facing fears, empowerment. Very much empowerment and facing fears. That's what it feels like. Like, I am nervous about getting back out there and doing freelance work, but I know I am strong. I know I'm ambitious. And I know that once I get some semblance of some real money coming in that's more consistent, it will knock my ass into gear in a better way. But to do so requires me to really hone in on other things and get shit done. Of course, I still want Stella Nova to exist and I still want to keep doing this because I'm not going anywhere for my Nova babes inside my membership. But all of the free stuff that I'm doing, I am going to have to take a little bit of a backseat. I do a couple free readings every month because that's just who I am. But I will still continue to do that. But my main focus is working with people inside of the group or personal readings. And anything outside of that, like, yes, I still want to show up on YouTube and TikTok and whatever, but I cannot keep up with posting 7 times a day, 7 days a week. That's just not my reality. And it's not actually benefiting me other than just visibility. And truthfully, the visibility that I have thus far, I'm good with. I'm always open for more, of course, but the capacity that I'm at right now, I can't see myself having like 100 people in my membership group and being okay with it. Yeah, the money would be great, but it wouldn't be good for me mentally. Okay, I thought we were done, but we have 3 more. Temperance in reverse. Imbalance. Yeah. Yeah, this is more of a repeat. I will say this, though. You also got the Hermit, and we got Judgment. So these 2 cards together, as like we're wrapping up this ending here, this is about self-reflection, introspection, contemplation, but also awakening, purpose, reflection. That's what these 2 cards represent. You are here trying to find like where you're going on the path, right? She only has a flashlight, it's raining, she can't really see too much that's ahead of her, but she's still trekking on the path. And this is you taking claim, awakening to yourself, and really reflecting and seeing how far you truly come. Because that's something that I feel is missing for you, is you haven't seen how far you really have come. You have done a lot of building. And think about the roller coaster again, right? Yes, I say I'm like a quarter of the way to getting to the hill. But I had to make this trek from the bottom, from the track where you start here and going up. If I looked back, I have come very far. I have changed. I have developed. I have expanded. But am I at this road where I'm noticing how far I've come, or I'm more worried about how much further I have to go? Because that's what trips you up, is worrying about how much further you have to go. I hate to break it to you, but until the day you die, there's always something that you're going to have to do. So worrying about how much further you have to go is not going to make it better. But reminding yourself how far you've actually come will help you get closer to where you want to be. Focus on the chapter, not the whole book. Okay? But of course, I'm wrapping up here. Because I don't feel anything else is coming through with the cards. If you're looking for a personal reading because I do more of this intuitive style reading, right? I don't just read the cards. I feel what is coming through to me from the universe and spirit. But definitely go ahead and book if you need like a question answered, something like this. I also do oracle readings, which is more of like an emotional depth question, right? It's not tarot cards, it's oracle decks. I got a lot of those, so depending on your question is what I can pull from. And then of course, if you're like, actually, I just really vibe out with Brie. I love like how she speaks, how she works. Join the collective. There is no contracts. Yes, it is $24.24 every month. I think that's a fair price for everything that you get. But for what you truly are looking for, if you're at the place where you really need community, where you need actual people that are going to hold you accountable and be real with you, but still serve you love and joy and excitement, then yes, come on down. Join us. Be a part of my Nova Babes. But anything that you have questions on or you want to look further into, my DMs are always available. But of course, just check out my website, look around, book, let me know. You got this. This change is inevitable, but it's going to be beautiful because you already are the butterfly. You just have to start flapping your wings. It's time. You got this. Love you, babe. Mwah.